Hey everyone, it's Michelle Brown with FedBiz Exchange and Federal Contracting Series. How much money can I make as a woman-owned business with federal contracts? So the truth is, we're going to talk about office supplies. We looked at some woman-owned companies that were doing business with the federal government and selling the federal government office supplies. As a matter of fact, we look at a few different types of businesses selling office supplies to the federal government in different capacities. But the first one is a woman-owned business, and they're selling direct to the federal government office supplies, which could include many different types of items. But what's important is that I give you a clear picture of how much money they've made over the years, what codes they're using, what size company they are, and what types of certifications they have. Okay, so let's get started. So, small business awards in general for office supplies, the office supply industry, has been in 2017 and 2018 a total of about $281 million. And as you can see, if you look right under the results summary, you will see that I ran a report just for office supplies, the contracts that were won, for 2018 already and 2017 for the whole year of 2017 so that I could get a good history. I also asked for small business only and small disadvantaged business only. And although you only see the listing of a few of the companies where it says recipient, this is the recipient column. There are lots and lots of businesses under these columns. And then this is the award ID column. That's the award number. And every time a federal buyer goes into this contract, they check it or touch it or buy something, it generates either a dollar amount or it generates what we call an action. So even if you see a zero there, that doesn't mean that there's no activity on the contract. It just means every single time a buyer touches this contract, then it will generate either a dollar amount, a non-dollar amount, or they're making an adjustment. Then next to it is the award date. So even if this contract, let's say, was for a year or 2 years, just because you see zeros doesn't mean that this contract is not getting any activity. If you look down a little bit further, that's the same contract number and you see more zeros. But if you look down even further than that, you see another contract that's very similar with the same company and it's under VA. I don't want to get off into too many details because I will explain those things to you at a later time, but I want you to understand if you see the company here as the recipient, then they're winning money. And we actually did this 3-vet company, this 3-vets company, we actually did a profile on them. So you'll get to see how much money they've won over the past few years as well. They just happen to be at the top of the list. But also, here's the award date, as I mentioned. The award type is contracts, of course. And then you'll see agencies right here. But the real agencies, meaning all of the agencies will show on the profile that I do for each individual company. And under office supplies, I've chosen to do 3 individual companies. This first company happens to be a WOSB. But I want you to get an idea of the amount of money that is being spent in the office supply industry every single year. And this is just a small amount for $281 million, $281.9 million that has been spent in 2017 and a little bit in 2018. So we chose to do our business profile on A&T Marketing. A&T Marketing is a small disadvantaged company. They have EDWOSB and WOSB certifications. They are minority and they are considered disadvantaged. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, disadvantaged does not mean poor. It does not mean they have no money. It does not mean any of those things. It means that they have verified that they make under a few $1 million or have at least a minimum of less than $4 million in assets, and that their company could make or generate any amount of money that is not over a certain threshold. So disadvantage just means, like it says, it's disadvantaged when it comes to competing with the larger companies. And again, I know a lot of people don't understand this, but that's why I'm doing this education, because the more you know as a small business, the more you can win, the more you can learn, the more you can earn, the more you can grow your company and not be afraid, because you'll understand how to get things done. Products and services that is sold by this woman-owned business are office supplies, general office supplies, nothing special or out of the ordinary, but office supplies. They have 6 employees. They have an annual revenue on average of $7 million. We're going to look at contracts awarded in 2018 thus far, 2017, 2016, and 2015. The codes that they use, which is important to you if you want to do office supply contracts with the federal government, the codes they've been winning with would be NAICS code or NAICS code 334-112 and 541-519. Now, the owners probably wouldn't want me sharing this because I'm creating competition for them by educating you, but I am telling you, as you can see, there's too much money out there for small businesses to feel that they have competition to where they won't win. It is nothing like that. People have that as a myth. There's so much money out there for small businesses that it would matter if there were 50 of you bidding on contracts. Of course, does it create for more competition? Yes, but more competition is healthy and it's okay. You would still win or could still win millions. So these are the codes that this particular company is using. And remember I said PSC codes are the key. They are very important because they get you straight to the federal buyers. The PSC codes that are being used, she or he or the owner only has one. This entity only has one that they're using, and it's 7510. That is the product service code. Most people don't know what that is, but you should have that in your SAM. If you don't have it in there, you need to get it in there, and you need to start using product service codes. So, with A&T Marketing, if we look at 2017, they've already won $11 million, a little over $11 million. And you see this number of transactions? That's where you saw some of those zeros and different numbers. Again, every time the federal buyer, any federal buyer hits the contract for this particular company, it's going to show up as either a zero or a purchase amount. If you win a multi-million dollar contract, let's say it's a $2 million contract, the federal buyer is not going to spend everything at once. They may spend 20,000 here, 20,000 there, 50,000 here, 500 there, or sometimes they may spend the whole million at once. A lot of times they do that with IT if it's a special project. But don't ever think that just because somebody's won $1 million contract and it hasn't been all used up, that it's not going to get used up before the end of the year. It will get used up. Okay, so that's how it works. That's why you see all of those transactional actions, and they when you print out this report, it comes out as an action. So, and every action does not equal to a dollar spent. It's just managing the contract. But so far, A&T Marketing has won $11 million. And by the way, this is a company type office supplies where it doesn't matter where you are in the country. If you're doing office supplies and you're worried about can you do shipping and all of that, you need to get that strategy together. But that's another session. I just want to make that clear. It doesn't matter what city you're in, what state you're in. If you want to get into office supplies, what you need to think about is a drop ship strategy or something like that and start bidding on these contracts so that you can win. And then in 2016, they won $5.1 million. This chart is just a chart for all the years. Instead of me having to go to every different page, all I have to do is highlight the year that I want information on. So in 2016, they won $5.1 million. In 2015, they won and they were awarded $2.5 million. And in 2018, A&T Marketing is on track already. And this, remember, fiscal year started in 2018. It started in October. October 1st of 2017 is the beginning of the fiscal year for 2018. Federal government is on a fiscal year starting in October of every single year. So we're already going into the second quarter. But for the first quarter, this company has already won $64,000. Federal agencies that are spending with this company, let's just look at an overview. So for this company, A&T Marketing, Office Supplies, the federal agencies that are working with this company would be the Department of Justice has already spent $7 million with them. The Department of Defense has already spent over $1.7 million with them. Homeland Security has spent about $340,000 with this company, and then Health and Human Services has spent about $274,000, and then the Department of State has spent about $272,000. Pretty good overview for this company. I see a lot of companies that will get contracts in one agency or with one agency, and they do all of their business with that one agency. When you start getting federal contracts, you must make sure that you diversify. You don't want all of your business coming from one agency. It's not good. If that agency stops doing business with you, you're wiped out. So you need to not do that. Although you should have other lines of business anyway. I'm a total huge advocate for multiple streams of income. So you should have your commercial business, your federal contracting business. So in your commercial business, you have different streams of income. But in your federal contracting world, you may not have that, but you should. So it's smart for you to have multiple streams of income in your federal contracting world, just as you would with your commercial contracts and your commercial business. Thank you for watching this video, and that was our first company that we reviewed, and we want you to see what they're doing. Watch the next video for other office supply companies, and please leave me your comments. Let me know your thoughts, what industry you're in, and tell me what you need so I can get you information about your industry and let you see what you can look forward to, or if you should perhaps be looking at your industry in a different way.